Hey everyone, I know it's been a while. I've been pretty busy, but I got really into this new game called Ice League Hockey. It's made by Quality Games. They've been an amazing developer. They've helped me out so much over the time, over me playing this game. And I really recommend you check it out. There's a premium edition, which gives you access to all the features of the game. And it's honestly just such a fun game, especially for those who like sports and hockey and all that. Um, right now, I just want to show you a quick overview of the rosters I made, because in this game you're able to make custom rosters, and I decided to make a modern version of the NHL, so like the current rosters of the NHL. And yeah, you are going to need the premium edition for this, but it's only like $5, which is honestly a bargain for you getting here. This is a mobile game. Right now I'm using an emulator, BlueStacks, to get shown up on the PC. I still bought the game, and you're still gonna need to buy the game. But it's still, again, I'm gonna reiterate this, it's such a fun game on mobile. But yeah, let's get into it. And this is a work in progress, but I've worked hard on it for a while, and the season's kind of almost over. So now that I have a good baseline, hopefully it's easier to make newer rosters and such. And there's some players and some teams that haven't finished, like Edmonton, for example, isn't fully done, but I got most of the important players done. For these rosters, I should show you the league first. So the league is obviously this year 2 conferences, 4 total divisions, the Eastern Conference, Western Conference, and then 4 divisions. For awards, we have most outstanding player, most valuable player, best goalie, best defenseman, best defensive forward, rookie of the year, most points, more goals, and the playoff MVP. So the salary cap I usually set to 60 or 80 or 85, and all players are fit with the current deals and contracts. I've also tried to make some cap some of these teams were a bit over the cap with all the LTIR players, but out of LTIR, so I had to do some, moving around. But first, let's check out the Anaheim Ducks in the Pacific Division. So Anaheim, 2-star offense. I should explain this first. So here we have a overview of the team itself. You have the total salary. You're only allowed to put in 20 players on each team, so I had to really prioritize who I wanted to put on each team specifically. But here we have Anaheim, Pacific Division. We have offense out of 5 stars, defense out of 5 stars, and the overall, which is the average. For offense, when it's colored in yellow, that means that that's what the team's overall is right now. Like, that's the average of the offense, because it's on a star-rated system. The gray bars shows the potential that players have, so this offense has potential to grow as players develop and get better. Same thing goes to the defense. Let's look at the roster. So by rating. So first we have Troy Terry, who's on a 1-year, $1.4 million contract. He's 24. And here, as you notice, I wasn't able, I didn't really want to, as you can see here, I didn't customize each individual player themselves and how they look and the skate colors and the eye colors. But that's Troy Terry. Right now he is a 2-way with stats like this, but he is a 2.5 star. Then we have Trevor Zegras, who's a 3-star, has room to grow, the 1-year, $1 million contract. We have John Gibson, who's 3 stars, Henrique, 3 stars, Strome, 2.5 stars, Klingberg, 2.5 stars, Petrano, 2 stars, Drysdale, 2 stars, room to grow, Fowler, 2 stars, Kulikov, I think, 2 stars, McTavish, 2 stars, Shattenkirk, 2 stars, Silverberg, 2 stars, Lundestrom, 1.5 stars. I'm also really bad at saying player names, so if I'm messing up here, I apologize. We have Jones, 1.5, The lowest guy, 1.5. Comtois, 1.5 with room to grow. I'm honestly not going to try that, but 1.5 stars at him. Easton, 1 star, and Grant, 1 star. And this is the line. It's based on overall, so I can't really custom move it. Yeah, the line will get automatically pushed to the overalls. But yeah, this is the line. Next up, we have the Arizona Coyotes. We have 2-star offense, 1-star defense, 1.5 star overall. 20 out of 20, $61.2 million for the salary. Rosterized, so by rating, we have Jacob Chikrin. He's 26, 3 stars, room to grow. He's been playing really good lately. And sometimes I move it up and down, but I don't think I'm really touching this first of the year until next year, the free agency and all that's cleared up. Schmaltz. 4 years, $8 million contract, 2.5 stars, room to grow. But Clayton Keller, 2.5 stars. Kraus, 2.5 stars. Fisher, 2 stars. Boyd, 2 stars. Chris Stetcher, I 1.5 with a little bit of room to grow because, that's kind of hometown bias by me. But anyways, we have Zach Cassian, 1.5 stars. Nick Ritchie, 1.5 stars. Levin Cooley, 1.5 stars. Lots of room to grow. But Mucka, 1.5 stars. Hayden, 1.5 stars. Carcone, 1.5 stars. This is gonna be this video is gonna be me failing at saying people's names. We have Oleson with 1 star. Soderstrom with 1 star. We have Gillis, 1 star. Paraico, 1 star. Timmins, 1 star. Deneen, 1 star. And Kuti, 1 star. This is the lineup right here. Except we got the Boston Bruins, who are currently, I think, one of the best teams in the league. You can tell, again, it's not fully finished, but I try my best, and I'm gonna probably, next year's rosters, because now that I have foundations, way easier to move players around during this off season. I can probably, improve upon this whole issue right here. Salary cap's pretty pushed up against the cap. Offense 3 stars, defense 2 stars, overall 2.5 stars. They have a pretty stacked roster, I'm not gonna lie, especially with this contract in Bergeron. 4-star potential, only 1 year, 2.5 mil. That's a steal in my opinion. You have David Pastrnak, who just now signs his contract extension. So obviously next year I'm gonna probably implement that. We have Brad Marchand, who's a 4-star, 34 years old. We have Linus Ullmark, one of the two, who's 4 stars, 3 years, $6 million contract. He's such a good goaltender right now, probably front runner for the Vezina. We have Charlie McAvoy, 3.5 stars, with some room to grow. He's 24 and it's already a top 10 defenseman in the league in my opinion. We have Hampus Lindholm, 3.5 stars. Taylor Hall, 3.5 stars. David Krejci, 3.5 stars. At 36 too, so he's doing pretty well himself, including that contract. I read that Boston has a lot of players on really good contracts, so that's pretty impressive. We have Jake DeBrusk, 3 stars. Nick Foligno, 2.5 stars. Coyle, 2.5 stars. Jimmy Swayman, 2.5 stars, because he's playing well this year, and maybe I'll move it up and down. Right now it's 2.5 stars, because I think Boston's one of the players I made way back in early September. We have what's this guy's first name? Mike Riley. We have Mike Riley, 2 stars. I'm not gonna try with that name. 2 stars. Zaka, 2 stars. Carlo, 2 stars. Wagner, 1. Clifton, 1. Pretty good team here. A pretty stacked forward core too. Look at that, top 6 is insane. Defense and goalies. Next up, we have the Buffalo Sabres, 19 out of 20. So, obviously I missed some people. 76.8 million total salary. So again, they're pretty pushed up. Offense 2.5, defense 2, overall just 2 and a bit. This is one of the best teams in my opinion. It's one of the teams that have the best futures in my opinion. Right away, we have Rasmus Dahlin with 4 stars, right? So, and a pretty good contract too. Tage Thompson, 3 stars. He's looking really good for the future. Tuck right now, 3.5 stars. We have Jeff Skinner, 3.5 stars. Anderson, 3 stars. Olofsson, 3 stars. Middlestad, 2.5. Okposo, 2.5. Zabushkin, 2.5. Asplund, 2 stars from to grow. Not gonna try that name, 2 stars. You have Owen Powell, who's 2 stars with lots of potential. I don't know if he's actually gonna be this good in real life, but I had to take some liberties because I can't see the future. But he seems to be pretty good. We have Dylan Cousins, who just recently signed his long contract extension. I think it's 7 years plus something. In the $7 million range. But good on him. He's 21, 2.5, 2 stars. There's lots of room to grow. We have Conway, 2 stars. Jack Quinn, 2 stars. With again room to grow. We have different Cousins. We have Samuelson, 2.5. Krebs, 2.5, and Bryson with 1. Next up, we have the Calgary Flames, who's dead on $80 million contract. I don't think this is a team that I finished making. I feel like, I don't think I finished this team, but they were a pretty good team to start off the year. 3 stars offense, 2.5 defense, 2.5 overall. Again, I tried my best to make this as accurate as possible, but I can't go too individually and fixing individual stats. This is one of the teams made at the beginning of the year, so Nazem Kadri, I'm not sure if he's a 3.5 star anymore, but he was at the beginning of the year in my opinion. He's a 7x7. You have Jonathan Huberdeau, who recently got traded from the Florida Panthers at the beginning of the year, not recently. He has a monster contract. You have Chris Tanev, 3.5, Foley, 3.5, Clinton, 3 stars. Machinapani, 3 stars. Zadorov, 3 stars. Markstrom, 3 stars. I realized he wasn't playing too good during the year, so I went and brought him down a little bit. With Lindholm, 3 stars. Anderson, 3 stars. Kenzie Uyghur, he's playing pretty good right now. 3 stars. Hanfin, 2.5. Lucic, 2.5. Gray, 2.5. I still can't pronounce his name. This last name. Let me try this. Olivier, right? 2.5. Jansen, 2.5. Lewis, 2.5. Vladar, 2. Now, obviously, I feel like Calgary Flames are a pretty good team, but they haven't been clicking this year. Whether that's been on coach or not, who knows? But that's the lineup. Next, we have the Carolina Hurricanes, who are bang on 80 million, 20 out of 20. So it's a team that I finished. They have 3.5 stars offense, 2.5 stars defense, and 3 stars in the overall. So we have Sebastian Aho, who's really good. So 4.5 stars. We have Neckis, 4.5 stars. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, I put 4 stars. I feel like that might be a touch too high for him. But we'll find out about him. Svechnikov, 4 stars. Burns, 4 stars. Kochekov, I put 3.5. He looked pretty good when he came up. Maybe I'll put it down a little bit later. Tervainen, 3.5. Pesk to 3.5. I'm not gonna pronounce that. Let me try. Skay. Anyways, I don't know. Seth Jarvis, 3.5. He's also 3.5 up here. Jakob Slavin, 3.5, room to grow. Max Pacioretty, he's 3.5. Anderson, he's 3. Kase, he's 3. Stall's 3, Stastny's 2.5, Ethan Bear's 2.5. Again, these lineups were made before the trade deadline and before earlier on in the year. So Ethan Bear's not traded to the Canucks just yet. But yeah, 2.5 with room to grow. We have Coughlin, Fast, and Tinook. Next we have the Chicago Blackhawks, one of the worst teams in the league. 17 out of 20. I haven't really finished this team yet, as you can see. Again, when I'm going to release a newer and more updated rosters later on in the year. Not later on in the year, like during this upcoming summer. I'm pretty busy right now though. You can see 2-star offense, 2-star defense, 2-star overall with $61.8 million total salary. They have the one and only Patrick Kane, who got traded to St. Louis Blues already. We have Johnson here at 3 stars. Taves 2.5. Jack Johnson. I think I might have messed that up. I'll fix that afterwards. Don't worry, Chicago fans. We have Anastasio, who's 2.5. Peter Mrazek, who's 2. Brad who's 2. Max Domi, who's 2. Jason Dixon's 2. Lafferty's 1.5. We have Carrier, who's 1.5. Jones 1.5. Blackwell 1.5. Murphy 1.5. Johnson. It's Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson 1.5. Khrushchev 1, and Stalock, who's 1. Next up we have the Colorado Avalanche, who isn't really doing as good as they were last year this year, but it's still a pretty good team overall. We have Nathan. Let me go back first. So we have 3-star offense, 2-star defense, almost 3-star overall. They have a pretty stacked roster. So 5-star for Nathan McKinnon. I think he's one of the best players in the league in my opinion. We have Cale Makar, obviously elite defenseman. So 4.5 stars with room to go to 5. You have Gabriel Landeskog, who has 4 stars. You have Mikko Rantanen at 4 stars. Taves at 3.5. Nichushkin at 3.5. Georgiev I put at 3.5. One's room to grow, but I really like Georgiev. We have Frank. Okay, I apologize for pronunciations again. I forget how you pronounce this, so Francois. I don't know how to pronounce it, but 3 stars. We have O'Connor 3 stars, Rodriguez 3 stars, Lehkonen 3 stars, Bowen Byram 2.5, Manson 2.5, Newhook 2.5, room to grow, Comfort 2.5, McDermott 2, Johnson 2, 1.5, Gerard 1.5, and Cogliano 1.5. This is their lineup. So offense, defense, goalies, and benched players. Next up we have the Columbus Blue Jackets, who I think currently are second worst in the league, or worst. $76 million cap hit total. Offense 2.5, defense 2, overall 2.5. John Gaudreau, he's playing pretty well, relatively. I think it's mainly he doesn't really have good teammates. But he's 4 stars, a little bit of room to grow. Actually maybe want to move that because he's already 29. I might change that, yeah. We have Muslikins at 3, Voracek, check that out. Also 3 over here, Gavrikov 3, Patty Laine 3, Tarasov 3. Patty Laine 3 with a little bit of room to grow because I think he has very good potential. We have this guy at 2.5, Bean at 2.5, Werenski at 2.5 with room to grow, Nyquist at 2.5, Jenner at 2.5, Branton at 2, Roslovic at 2, Boquist at 2, Robinson at 2, Danforth at 1.5, Pika 1.5, then 1.5, 1.5, and 1 down here. And this is the lineup. Next up we have the Dallas Stars, who are really good at in this league. Uh, $78 million contract, 3-star offense, 2.5 defense, overall 2.5. Austin is just so good in my opinion. So he's at 4-star potential. We have Hintz at 3.5, Robinson at 3.5, with room to grow. Jordy Ben at 3.5. Hakampa at 3.5, Heiskanen at 3.5, Sudo at 3, Lindell at 3, Tyler Sagan at 3, Marshman at 3, Colin Miller at 2.5, Wedgwood at 2.5, Johnson at 2.5, Gurianov at 2.5, Delandria at 2.5, Niels Lundqvist at 2.5, Vasquez at 2, and Kiviranta at 2, and Glendening at 1.5. It's their roster. Next up, we have the Detroit Red Wings. Again, one of the teams that I think has one of the best features in the league, with TV Eisenman leading the way. Total salary $63 million. 2.5-star offense, 2-star defense, 2.5-star-ish. Well, more 2 stars overall. For rosters, we have Dylan Larkin at 4 stars, Patuzzi at 2.5, Kublik at 3, Hronik at 3. I think he got traded to the Canucks recently. Russo at 3, Kopp at 3, Perron at 3, Sherrod at 3, Suter at 2.5, Hellberg at 2.5, and Sundqvist at 2.5, Wallman at 2.5, Lucas Raymond at 2.5, Rasmussen at 2, Ernie at 2, Sider at 2, might be a little bit underrated there. Mata at 2, Soderblom at 2, Runner at 1.5, and Lidstrom at 1.5. This is their lineup. Next we have the Edmonton Oilers. I think one of the teams that, again, one of the best teams in the league. They have Connor McDavid here. 4 years, $12.5 million contract at 5 stars. Evander Kane, 4 stars. Drasdale at 4. Ryan Nugent Hopkins at 3.5. Tyson Berry at 3.5. Zach Hyman at 3. Nurse at 3. Ryan at 3. Campbell at 3. He hasn't been playing that good this year. Whiting at 3. Mike Smith is still here. I think he's supposed to be gone. I'll be sure to make that correction. CC at 3, Yamamoto at 2, Puljujärvi at 2, Malakov at 2, Fogel at 2, and Kamir Restov. And this is the lineup, of course. Kamir McDavid at front, these guys in the back. Next up, we have the Florida Panthers. Another team that's been struggling this year. You can see all the stuff up here. $80 million cap salary too. We have Matthew Tkachuk, absolutely insane at the game. 4.5 stars. Burkov at 4. Bennett at 3.5. Reinhardt at 3.5. Ekblad at 3.5. Montour at 3.5. Verhaeghe at 3.5. Duclair at 3. Forsling at 3. Bobrovsky at 3. Knight at 3. Colin White at 2.5. Gudas at 2 stars. Nick Cousins at 2, Eric Stoll at 2, Mark Stoll at 2, Lundell at 2, Carlson at 1.5, and Hornquist at 1.5. And these are the lines. And next up we have the Los Angeles Kings, another one of the teams that really broke out this year. You can see, all the stuff up here. Salary cap 73 mil. They have Drew Doughty leading the way, 4 stars. Fiala at 3.5. Kopitar at 3.5. Dono at 3.5. Kempe at 3. Overton at 3. Reloady at 3. Walker at 3. Ifollo at 3. Jersey at 3. Quick at 3. Bassard at 2.5. Lemieux at 2.5. Alex Edler at 2. Gunstrom at 2. Lazar at 2. Anderson at 2. Quentin Byfield at 1.5. 1.5 for Clark, and Turcotte 1.5. and this is the lines. Next up, we have the Minnesota Wild. Another team which I feel like is a little bit performing not as good as last year without Fialo by their side. $77 million cap hit. Needs a little stuff up here. Leading the way is actually Zuccarello. 35 years old at 3.5. Kaprizov is at 3.5. Boldy's at 3. Egg is at 3. Herman's at 3. Spurgeon's at 3. Matt Dumba's at 3. Fleury's at 2.5. Fredericks at 2.5. Foligno's at 2.5. Gustafsson at 2.5. Some room to grow. Greenway at 2. Duhaime at 2. Jost at 2. Muriel at 2. Adamson at 2. Bodine at 2. Goligoski at 2. Steele at 2. And Rossi at 2. And these are the lines. Next up with the Montreal Canadiens, one of the teams rebuilding this year, and they're doing a pretty good job at it. $51 million contract, you can see all the stats up there. They're leading the way with Nick Suzuki, and then Cole Caulfield, of course, both 3.5 stars. Montembeault at 3, Monahan at 2.5, Matheson at 2.5, Gallagher at 2.5, Gooley at 2.5, Allen at 2.5, Doc at 2.5. He's been playing well there. Wyman at 2.5, Anderson at 2.5, Savard at 2.5, Bowie at 2, Hoffman at 2, Xhekaj at 2, Stavkovsky at 2, McNabb at 2, 2 also to Byron, and Barron's at 1.5, same as Harris. And these are the lines. Next up we have the Nashville Predators. You see the stats up here, almost at the cap. They're leading the way is Forsberg at 4.5, Duchesne at 4, Yossi at 4, Granlund at 3.5 at 5 mil, Johansson at 3, McDonough at 3, Super Niederreiter, Janot and Soros at 3, Simmons at 2.5, Lankin at 2.5, Akoma at 2.5, Trinan at 2, Fabro at 2, Bobrovsky at 2, Glass at 1.5, same Stanford, Sherwood, and these two at 1 stars. And here are the lines. Next up is the New Jersey Devils, who are doing really good this year. Total salary 71, details stats up here. Leading the way with Jack Hughes, of course, at 4.5. Nico Hischier at 3.5. Marino at 3.5. Jesper Bratt at 3.5. Tatar at 3. Simmons, Palat, Vanacek, and Mercer. Hamilton also at 3. Same with Howler. Grabs at 2.5. I'm not going to try that. 2.5. Zeldin at 2.5. Same with this guy. Smith also 2.5. Blackwood's also at 2.5. I could raise it up a little bit more. Bokus at 2. Holtz at 2. Sevson at 2. And Luke Hughes sitting at 1.5. And these are the lines. And these are the lines. Next up we have the New York Islanders, team that's pushing for a playoff run this year. $77 million cap hit, into the stuff up there. Down here, we have Barzell, of course, leading the way. They recently traded for Bo Horvat, again, before trade deadline, that's the beginning of the season. We have Sorokin at 3.5, room to grow. Dobson at 3.5, Pellick at 3, Nelson at 3, Lee at 3, Pollock at 3, Palmieri at 3, Bolivia at 1.5. I think he also got traded to the Canucks. Romanov at 2.5, Varlamov at 2.5, Pagu at 2, Sebastian Aho at 1.5, Mayfield at 1.5, Merlin 1.5, Brady 1.5, Parisi 1.5, same with Wallstrom, Roger Hanson's 1, and Aturati, at 1 star. I actually think he also got traded to the Canucks. And these are the lines. Next up, we actually have the New York Rangers. one of the best teams in the league in my opinion. They got Tarasenko and Kane on their team after the trade line, which is absolutely insane. Already helped this stuff out. 78 million dollars towards the cap hit. Ross being leading the way is Igor Shesterkin, amazing goaltender. He was a Zibanejad at 3.5, Box at 3.5, same with Kreider, Panarin, Trocheck's at 3, same with Goudreau, Trouba's at 2.5, same with Miller, and Halak is at 2. Lindgren is at 2, Reeves is at 2, I think he also got traded. Kapakako at 1.5, Blaze at 1.5, Schneider at 1.5, and Daphne at 1.5. Shield also with 1.5, and Hajic at 1. And these are the lines. Next up we have the Ottawa Senators, one of the teams that, again, are rebuilding, but they're doing pretty good so far. You see the total salary and all the stuff up here. Leading the way, Brady Tkachuk, amazing player. We also have Norris here, Talbot, to Zub, Pinto, Brinkett, Giroux, Chabot, and Susle. Susle I'm actually going to raise right now. And let me just do that real quick. And there we go, Susle's at now at 3. I just need to make that quick change. I mean, meaning to make it for a while. Chabot at 3, Baptison at 2.5, Mott at 2.5, he got traded. Joseph at 2.5, Forsberg at 2.5, Diaz at 2, Branson at 2, Hamnick at 2, Formanton at 1.5, Gambrell at 1.5, Ellis at 1, and Gallagher at 1. And these are the lines. Next up, we got the Philadelphia Flyers. Cap hit of almost 80 mil. New Zealand ways Hayes, Couturier, Bronov, Van Riemsdyk, Konechny, Atkinson, D'Angelo, Farabi, Hurt, Ellis, Tippett, Kate, Frost, McEwen, Sanheim at 2, Sim Sandstrom, Marshment at 1.5, same with these guys. And these are the lines. Next about the Pittsburgh Penguins. Again, a team that's trying to make the playoffs, 78.5 mil cap it here, all the stuff over here. The only way, of course, is the kid. Sidney Crosby at 4.5 stars, Letang at 3, Jerry at 3, same with Russ, Malkin, Kadrukel, Gentle. Carter's drops down to 2.5, Petrie at 2.5, to Smith at 2.5, Cameron at 2, Heinen at 2, McGinn at 2, Friedman at 2, Ty Smith at 2, and Zucker, Marcus Pearson, Archibald, and Kane. And these are the lines. Next up we have the San Jose Sharks, who I think are last in the league. Either them or the Columbus Blue Jackets. You see the stats up here. They were rebuilding. Timo Meier got traded, so obviously he's not on the team anymore, but he's currently leading the way at 4 stars. Carlson also at 4, Barabanov at 3, Babink at 3, Hurdle at 3, Couture at 3, Kakinen at 2.5. We have Reimer at 2, Ferraro at 2. Oh, whoops, let me do that. Ferraro at 2, Benning at 2, Reimer at 2, Gadrovic at 1.5, Svechnikov at 1.5, Benino 1.5, Lindholm at 1.5, McDown 1.5, Nido at 1.5, and Vlasic at 1.5. And these are the lines. Next up, got the Seattle Kraken, one of the new teams in the league. You see the cap hit right here. They're doing amazingly so far. Lingwei is Burakovsky at 4 stars. Ebley at 3.5. Schwartz at 3.5. Jones at 3.5. McCann at 3.5. He's popping off this year. Got Beniers at 3 stars as a rookie. Bjorkstrand at 3 stars. Vince Dunn at 3 stars. Olsen at 2.5. Geek at 2.5. Gold at 2.5. Alexei at 2.5. Kempney at 2.5, Grubauer at 2.5. Got Shane Wright at 2 so far, and the rest over here, Colden at 1 star. And these are the lines. Next up, we have the St. Louis Blues, another team that's been selling this year. As you know, they sold, they're probably tanking at the moment. Cap is against the ceiling right here. They traded a load of players, including I think these top 2 are gone. Honestly, these three of these guys are gone. O'Reilly's gone, but he's leading the way. Kairu, Thomas, Tarasenko, Buchnevich, we got Shen here, True got 3, Binghamton at 3, Tuzo at 3, Akari at 2.5, Barbashev at 2.5, Grice at 2.5, Borrego at 2.5, Falk at 2.5, Leddy at 2, Nicola at 2, Sod at 2, Yevo at 2, and Neighbors at 1. Next with the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're trying to make it back to Stanley Cup Finals for maybe a 4th year in a row. They're pushed up against the Cap. Leading the way is points from Sergachev, Hedman, Kucherov, and Vasilevsky, all 3.5. Stamkos is lower. Shirley, Perry, Cernak, Elliott, all up there. We have Nick Paul 2.5, Maroon at 2, Ian Cole at 2, Bellemare at 2, Fleury at 2, Colton at 2, Foot at 1.5, Hagel 1.5, and Coburn at 1. Next we have the Toronto Maple Leafs, another team who's probably pushing for a playoff run this year. They're trying to get past the first round though. We have $80 million cap hits. They're pushed up against the cap. Roster-wise, they have Matthews, Tavares, Marner, Insane, Nylander up there, Murray, who's injury prone a little bit, but he's doing alright. Morgan Riley, Muzzin's actually out for the year, I think, maybe his career. Due to injuries, we have Brody, Samsonov, Young Croak, Sandine, Kirkwood, Bunting, Camp, Wayne Simmons, Eric Shelgren, and Justin Hull are put in there. Hull in there. And then Giordano and Pierre Engel. And these are the lines. Next up, we have the Vancouver Canucks. Cap is still not doing so well this year, I think. They usually made a trade for I forget who, a defenseman, I do believe. They're up against the Cap, not being an amazing team. Leading the way is Elias Pettersson, then Quinn Hughes, Thatcher Demko, JT Miller's playing better this year. Wohovat, of course, got traded. Kuzmenko at 3, Martin at 2.5, Mikheyev at 2.5, Brock Besser at 2.5, Luke Shen got traded to Toronto Maple Leafs. Then there's Demott, Ekman Larson, Lazar, Garland, Peterson, I think, out for the year, maybe his career. Tyler Myers at 2, Hogland at 1.5, Podkolzin, at Koronaki, and Pullman. Unfortunately, I can't really show you guys land because it is glitching out a bit, so sorry about that. Moving on here, we got the Vegas Golden Knights. Another team that's doing decently well this year. 77 mil, the top of the league. Jack Eichel, Marchessault, Stone, Stephenson, Pietrangelo, Logan Thompson, Theodore, Carlson, Hill up there, Literal, Martinez, Carrier, Malcolm Nelstad, Hutton, Hutchinson, Sundstrom, Howden, McNabb, and Whitecloud. Of course, I apologize, I can't, it's not working right now. Next, we got the Washington Capitals with Ovechkin, pushed up against the Cap. Of course, Ovechkin leading the way with Carlson, Ochi, Kuznetsov, Kemper, Backstrom, Gustafsson, Tom Wilson up there, Johansson at 2.5, Lindgren at 2.5, Milano at 2.5, Brown at 2.5, and a few more, Manta, Orlov, Eller, Sherry, Strome, and Jensen, and Ben Riemsdyk. Again, sorry, can't show the lines. And finally, we have the Winnipeg Jets here, last team. I think I'm losing my voice. We have 76.2 mil against the cap hit. They're doing really well this year. They took a step up. We have Brendan Dillon at 4 stars, Shefty at 4, Holbrook at 4, Morrissey at 4, Kyle Connor at 3.5, Philip Dubois at 3.5, Ehlers at 3.5, Blake Wheeler at 3, Pionk at 3, Appleton at 2.5, Riddick at 2.5, Lowry at 2.5, Stanley at 2.5, Smith at 2.5, Freddy at 2, some Gagne, D'Amelio, Johnson, Macanausa, Sandberg at 1.5, and Lambert at 1. And again, sorry, I can't show you the lines. And yeah, guys, that's the review of the rosters I made. A link will be in the description. To upload it, all you have to do is go to Customize, Import League, and put in the custom league URL, and check out the Reddit and the Twitter. Same with the Discord, people post some awesome rosters up there. And yeah, maybe I'll be making a few more videos about this game. It's so fun. I recommend you check it out. Of course, I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully sooner than last time. See you guys later.